Hey parents, in this video, I will share with you 2 types of mentality when it comes to choosing an activity for your child. I can guarantee you that you will look at time differently after you watch this video, so make sure you stay tuned all the way to the end. Today is video number 7 in our series of 8 videos where I unpack my parent framework. This framework is your go-to guide when choosing the best extracurricular activity for your child, and this will give you clarity and confidence knowing that you're making a very informed and well thought out decision. If you missed the previous videos, make sure to catch up, and you can also download the guide in the description box below. Whether it's piano or gymnastics or swimming, the key is to view these pursuits as more than just a short-term commitment lasting maybe a year or 2. Think of them as potential lifelong journeys that can be sustained for as long as you and your child desires. You see, if I was left to my own devices, I probably would have quit piano and dance and sports and everything else that I did as a kid because I was easily bored and I just wanted to switch activities a lot. I started a lot and stopped a lot, started a lot and stopped a lot. And I have a whole story on how I actually ended up choosing dance and piano as my 2 main activities. But thanks to my family's unwavering support, they really cultivated a certain mindset in me, and that is the mindset of a finisher. I learned firsthand the value of persisting in an endeavor instead of hopping from one thing to another. And here's the thing, there's merit in exploring new experiences, but there is great value in cultivating the discipline to stick with one activity through to its completion. So parents, when you are choosing an activity for your child, ask yourself, am I ready to invest the time required for my child to truly learn this skill? Am I ready to stand by them and support their journey through to the finish line? Keep in mind that if you've used my parent framework, you should have an established purpose statement that aligns with your family values detailing why you chose this activity. At this point, it has transformed beyond just a regular extracurricular activity. Instead, this activity has become a route to acquiring lifelong skills that is in line with your family's long-term vision. Having said that, let's explore the differences in mentality between the 2 approaches and let's see what you resonate with. Mentality number 1, the Dabble and Doodle approach. It sounds cute, but doesn't give you much. But here's a few of the advantages to this. Number 1 is the exploratory approach. It allows your kids to just go and explore and do all sorts of activities. I mean, this could be in line with some families' values, right? Like some families really don't want to stick with one thing. They want to explore it all. And if you believe in that, great. That is your family value. And so this could be your approach if this is something that you want for your child. Number 2 is limited time commitment. You don't have to commit much because you're open to quitting when an activity doesn't stick. Number 3 is focused on immediate enjoyment, which is great, especially when they're still at a young age and they're still really figuring out what it is that they want. And it's really just about the enjoyment, which it should be even when it's a permanent activity. But this particular approach is really just all about, if I enjoy it, I'll do it. If I don't enjoy it, we're going to discontinue. This mentality is really like dipping your toes in the water. You're just going to test it out and see if it sticks. If it doesn't, no big deal. We can just switch to something else. Now, here's the thing. While it's great to be open-minded and try new activities, constantly jumping ship from one thing to another can have its downsides. My dad has this story where he really wanted to learn piano, so he learned it, but it was too hard, so he quit. And then he wanted to pick up the guitar, so he went to guitar lessons, but it was too hard, and so he quit. And then the last thing was drums. So he learned drums, but it was too hard, and then he quit. And I think that's why when it came to me, my parents just never let me quit. They said, no, you can't quit piano. And I think it's because my dad saw that, what he did as a child, just starting and quitting, he never saw anything out of that. So there's this risk of developing a pattern in their child where they start something but never really finishes. My dad and my mom, it's so nice to see that they're still happily married. I don't really know how many years they've been married. Such a bad daughter. But my dad is 70 and my mom is 68. And just my dad always told me that growing up in his teenage years, he had a problem with women. And so, he would date someone and then he would get bored, and then he would go to the next relationship, get bored, go to the next relationship, get bored, and all that stuff. And I think that, that pattern of starting and never really committing really developed in him at such a young age with all of his activities, and it went with him into his adulthood. So imagine that your child has the option to bail every time things get tough. Sure, it might spare them some temporary discomfort, but in the long run, it might hinder their ability to stick with something, especially when it truly matters. So while the let's try and see if it works mindset has its merits, it's essential to balance it with the understanding that some skills will only develop over time and commitment. It's like planting a tree and expecting it to grow overnight. It just doesn't happen. Mentality number 2 is the time-enduring learning approach. Imagine you've gone through my entire framework. You know that this activity aligns with your family values. You know that it brings benefits to your child, benefits that you have carefully researched and truly believe in. Unlike testing the waters, you're in it for the long haul. Here are the benefits to this approach. Number 1 is deep purpose. Your child gets to experience the profound joy of accomplishment. It's not just about immediate enjoyment, but a lasting sense of achievement. Going through challenges in the activity teaches them to bounce back, fostering resilience and determination. Number 3, developing perseverance. Sticking with an activity through thick and thin will instill in them the powerful life skill of perseverance. But let's also keep it real. Here are some of the drawbacks. This will surely demand more time. But know that this is also an investment in your child's growth. Number 2, discomfort. When you're sticking with one activity for a long period of time, you are bound to hit a valley. There will be some discomfort, there will be some tough times, there will be some times that you really just don't want to be there anymore. So definitely discomfort is one of the drawbacks when you are sticking with one activity for a long time. In the end, it's really about making a conscious choice. Time is a precious resource, and it's going to tick away no matter what. The question is, do you want your child to look back and see a scattered trail of activities that they didn't really stick with, or do you want them to reminisce on the special journey that they had with this one special thing? Think about it. Long-term commitment to an activity isn't just about the activity itself. It also provides a chance for your kids to build long-term relationships. So as you watch that time tick, do you want your child to have temporary adventures and always seeking out immediate fun? Or do you want your child to go through that rewarding and sometimes uncomfortable journey of committed mastery? The passing of time is inevitable, but how you use it when choosing an activity for your child really matters. It can make a world of difference in unlocking their full potential. So choose wisely. Well, this takes us to the end of my parent framework. In the last video, I'm going to share just some personal stories that are very hard for me to share, but it is a part of my story, and it's actually what has made me arrive to where I am right now, teaching and really being passionate about teaching kids how to develop that commitment and that consistency and perseverance and resilience. And so if you want to join me in the next video, I would love to see you there. If you've enjoyed this video series so far, please go ahead and click like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. And I will see you in the next one.